I was sleeping on the floor, now I'm stepping in Dior. I done prayed to the Lord, then my demons be at war. My mama crying on the phone, baby, make it home. I told the streets cold, I can feel it through my bones. I had to run through the fire, no shoes in the rain. They ain't know it's hurt, but they was laughing at my pain. Now it's racks in the safe, heart feel the same. Lost too many real ones, I can't say their name. Every night in my head, I hear the shots and the screams. But I'm still chasing paper, gotta chase my dreams. They don't smile in your face, but we praying on your fall. I done bled my life, I done had to risk it all. I done seen a nigga with a t-shirt and a ball. Nigga, I done seen a nigga up, then he fall. I was stuck in the dark, couldn't find the light. Sometimes to the streets, I gotta die tonight. I got scars that the docs say I never heal. I done cried in the whip, trying to hide how I feel. Now I'm stacking up pay, putting it in the safe. Pain in my chest that I never would erase. Praying for some peace, but my hand on the steel. If I get caught slipping, I die in the field. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody said they couldn't hear me. Everybody said they couldn't hear me. Um, I'm just making sure that y'all can hear me now. So what I was saying is, I want to speak something real today that the city don't always want to admit. Kids don't just wake up and feel like they want to crash out. A lot of them are moving through boredom, pain, survival, trauma, poverty, and no mentorship, no safe space, and things like that. Sometimes they wake up and have no hopes to look for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That conversation, I feel like it need to be had, and this is where we're gonna have it at. Uh, Jackson keep asking why the youth keep getting into so much trouble, but nobody asking the real deep question. What do these kids actually have to look forward to? Back in the day, we had places like Ella Sharp Park, pool, the golf course, you know what I'm saying, to keep memories, freedom, activities, peace, and somewhere to escape the pressure of the streets. For a lot of us, that was our childhood memory. You could be outside laughing and connecting and staying active and just being a kid. Now, when you look around the city, what do the teenagers really have to do? Not the little kid activities like Nixon. You know, we need something bigger than that. Real opportunities for the teens. Um, Somewhere where they feel seen, somewhere where they can grow, somewhere where they can release their anger and the stress and depression that they fighting. Having creative and more energy is like having somewhere where they can go where it's a healthy way to express themselves. People talk about gun violence like it just appeared out of nowhere, but violence grows where hopelessness lives. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of these kids are in survival mode. Every day they wake up, and some of them wake up around violence. Some of them is dealing with poverty. Some of them is raised off of emotions, and because the adults that surround them are struggling too, so they feel like they don't got nothing else to do but something that might end up getting them into some trouble. Some don't think about the opportunities because nobody ever showed them what an opportunity even looked like. Um, when a city removes programs and closed spaces and ignore mental health and ignore recreational um, environments and ignore mentorships and ignore community investments, the streets will always step in and fill that void if you haven't noticed by now. And the streets never close. We can't keep blaming the youth while giving them nothing to run towards. We can't keep putting negative energy out, you know what I'm saying, and thinking that it ain't going these kids not going to gravitate towards it, cuz they will. Not every kid wants to be in the streets. Some just need somewhere safe to go, somebody to believe in them, some things to do productive, to be along with, uh, opportunities that feel like it's reachable, and activities that make them feel alive again. The conversation about gun violence has become bigger than the police reports and the arrests. We got to talk about the broken homes, the trauma, the poverty, social media pressure, lack of resources, lack of after school programs, lack of jobs, and lack of investments into our youth overall. Because if the only thing open for these kids is the streets, eventually the streets will become their future. This city has talented kids, smart kids, creative kids, athletic kids, future business owners, and future leaders. But potentially, it means nothing when nobody pours into these kids or into our youth. Instead of asking what's wrong with these kids, maybe the city need to ask, what have we truly built for these kids? You know what I'm saying? What is the real thing that these kids gonna have? You know, what is a real thing that we can build and keep going, that can revenue jobs, that can keep these kids off the streets, that can keep these kids active? Because once they run to the streets, they're gonna stay in the streets. They're gonna be a part of the streets. And that's when our kids is locked behind those walls that we can't reach them no more. You know what I'm saying? It's so many people that give up on these kids. It's kind of like they don't have nothing else to look forward to. They don't have no other outlet, nowhere else to go. If we keep letting these kids down, we're gonna keep seeing them build bigger prisons, because these prisons is getting overpopulated. So we're gonna get prisons on top of prisons. What they call Jackson a prison city. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna keep growing that way if we don't step up and do something about these kids. But that's just me trying to give y'all a little bit of insight on what I've been trying to work on, and trying to make sure that we got something that's stable for these kids, because these kids is going to be shackled down to our ignorance, because we not breaking these chains. These chains going to forever hold us down, and we're going to be stuck to our ignorance as long as we let them, you know? So sometimes it's time to take a change and take a stance for something that you believe in. And me, I believe in these kids, so I'm going to keep fighting for them day and night. I get late night calls from kids that's going through things at home, and I get out of my bed. You know, sometimes my wife be like, "Where you going? What's going on?" I'm getting out of my bed because I'm going to check and make sure that these kids is safe. You know, I get a lot of calls at night that these kids need somebody to be there for them. And I'm going to always be there for them. I'm always answering my phone. I keep my phone on loud at all times, because you never know what can happen. It's too many tragedies that keep happening, and we still keep asking the city, what are y'all going to do about this? We keep asking the police department, what y'all going to do about this? And we're not getting any answers. So hopefully one day we get some answers, and hopefully it's not too late to where we get 5 more kids that's on a t-shirt, till we get 3 more people that's in the hospital and ICU. When we get 2 more people that in overdose or anything like that, we got to figure out a way to bridge that gap and stop some of these problems that we have going on in our community. If y'all with me, hit me in my DM. Let's talk about it. Let's put it on the flow. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and talk about this conversation. If you into this conversation, if you want to be a part of this conversation, if you want to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, step up, speak up. Don't keep your voice back, because your voice might be big enough for the next person to hear. I'm letting y'all know what I'm on, and that's what I'm going to do. Save the youth as much as I can. I'm going to keep stepping up. This put on the flow with Big T. You dig?